Hello, good morning.
Yes.
So today you're with me. My name is Elestinah Magalasi, a lecturer at DMI St. John the Baptist, Malawi. So today we'll be discussing a topic about personal financial literacy among university students. So I hope you are able to see my PowerPoint as well as hearing me. Hello?
Yes, miss, the PPT already visible.
Okay, so we'll be talking about personal financial literacy among university students. So the topics that I'll be discussing with you includes the basic concept of personal finance, factors influencing personal financial literacy, the background about personal finance in Malawi, why is personal finance important, and the strategies or the techniques that are supposed to be followed for you to have an effective personal finance. So first of all, let's look at the basic concept about finance. So what is personal finance? So basically, personal finance, it is management of an individual or a household's financial activities, including income generating, spending, savings, investing, as well as protecting assets. So basically, in a simple terms, personal finance is whereby you manage your incomes, you see how much you get every month or maybe yearly, and then you manage on your spendings, the savings that you're supposed to have, as well as where you should invest, and then how you're going to protect the assets that you have. So studies have been conducted by different researchers in other countries, but basically here in Malawi, we have lack or there is a gap on this personal finance on this study. So I took a chance to talk about this because it is very important for young students or university students, since they're the people who are converting from being young to adults. So it is a challenge for them to manage their finances. So it is very important for them to understand or to have an understanding or to be literate when it comes to personal finance on how they are supposed to manage their finances. So let's look at some of the areas on personal finance. So basically on income, like I said, that income is basically the starting point of personal finance. So students, it's their parents. So as well as budget for that money in order for them to run their life, everyday life. So on incomes, we need to look at all the sources of incomes that we have. We might have maybe small businesses where we get some income, or maybe we get the money from our parents, or maybe somewhere where we invest in. But basically, most of the times as students, we don't see this as an important thing, whereby we need to see that we are supposed to have maybe a small business that we're supposed to do, or maybe investing in some stocks or bonds. So it is necessary for us as a person or as an individual to make sure that you have different sources of income. And then we have a second component or a second area whereby it's spending. So once you know that your incomes monthly or yearly, you have this much incomes that you get yearly or monthly. So you need to look at how you're supposed to spend it. So on spending, it's whereby it's an outflow of cash, and then typically whereby you have to spend on the utilities that you have, or maybe the bills that you're supposed to pay. So you look at your income and then you look at your spending as well. So you need to spend an amount that is not more than the incomes that you have. So your spendings are supposed to be less than your incomes, so that you should have an effective person of finance. So the third area, or the third aspect on personal finance, is savings. So you need to look at the savings as well. So once you have your income and then you have noticed your spendings, you have allocated your incomes into your spendings, your fixed spendings, or maybe with the variable spendings that you have, you also need to have a certain amount of money that you need to save for emergencies. So we literally have emergencies every day. For example, you might get sick, or maybe something might happen. So as an individual, you're supposed to have the savings that you need to keep for you to run your everyday life. And then we also need to look at the investments that we are supposed to invest in. So investing is whereby it involves purchasing of assets, usually maybe the stocks or bonds, so to earn a return on the money. So this is whereby you get my returns as dividends, or maybe the aim is that you need to increase an individual's wealthy, or you want some income, some additional income that you might have. So all this, you need to look at that. So area, or another aspect, is that protection. So protection is whereby you protect. It is one of the methods that you need to use for you to get for example, be from events that might happen. For example, I said some emergencies that you can have. For example, maybe you might get sick, or something might happen. You might need an immediate finance, or an immediate money. So those are 5 areas that you need to focus, or that you're supposed to know on personal finance. So basically, about personal finance, I talked about the incomes. So as individual, once that you have different sources of incomes, that you need to you need to have the whole amount of income that you get per month. So you need to look at the spendings. So you need to allocate to the fixed bills, or the fixed expenses that you have. And then once you allocate that, you need to remain with some amount whereby you need to put it in savings. And then as you save, you need also to think about investing. So if you have some investments, you can be able to get some additional incomes. And then you also need to protect, or you need some strategies or techniques that you need to follow to protect yourself in the future in terms of finance. Okay, so as I talked about it one by one on income, so like I saw that income is the starting point of a personal finance, whereby it is the entire amount of cash inflow that you receive, and it can be allocated in different areas, as the expenses, savings, the investments, as well as the protection. So basically, your incomes might come from salaries, the savings, or the dividends if you are investing in some stocks. So that's about income. And then we talked about spending. And spending, as I said, it is an outflow of cash, and typically whereby you have a bag of incomes whereby it goes there. So you spend, or spending is whatever an individual uses their incomes to buy, or maybe to pay for rent, or mortgage, or groceries, or maybe you like eating out, or maybe you like shopping. So that's about spending. So you allocate your incomes on those expenses. And then we also, this is another aspect or another area whereby you need to look at in personal finance. So aside from income, spending, protection, and everything, you also have to look at budgeting. So budgeting basically is the process of creating a plan to allocate income towards expenses or savings and the investments. So a budget helps to control spending and ensures that the resources are used efficiently. So we have the fixed expenses, like I already said. So on fixed expenses, you might have your utilities, you have to pay your rents, you have to pay some debts that you have, or maybe you insured your property, so you have to pay for that. So all those are the fixed expenses. So as an individual, you need to, excuse me, so you need to follow all that budgets that you have. You need to focus on that plan so you can be able to manage or maybe to control your spendings. And then we have variable expenses. So these variable expenses are, these are the costs that fluctuate monthly. They might change depending on the needs that you have on that month. So, for example, we might have groceries. So, these are called variable expenses because they change. They change. So, because they change, they are called variable expenses. So you might have this month, like maybe a lesser expense on variable expense, or you might have more than the previous month. So that's why it is a variable expense. And then we also look at the discretionary spending. So whereby non-essential expenses, like maybe you like going out, or maybe you just want to travel, or maybe to have some fun. So these are also the expenses that as an individual you can have. And then you can also budget for savings and investments. So like I talked about savings, that you need to save for emergency events or something that might happen that you need an immediate money. So you need to have those savings in your account, or maybe as an individual you need to have savings. And then on investments, you need to invest. You can, there are a lot of schemes that you can invest nowadays. We have different types of financial instruments that you can try to invest in, and then you get some returns. So let us look at another aspect on financial personal finance. So we have already talked about protection, whereby we say that it is a method whereby people take to protect themselves from unexpected events such as illnesses or accidents. It is a kind of a saving that you keep so that you can protect yourself from such sudden events that might happen to you. So that's about protection. So on this protection, it might uh, uh, ensure in your life. So people, those policies with the insurance companies. So you might insure yourself, or maybe you might uh, uh, make a retirement plan. So thinking about retirement plan, for us, we always think that maybe once when you're going to see, or you're going to plan on how you're going to live after retiring. But it is better off students Now that's when it is. Once you retire, you might need a lot of things. You might need um, a lot of funds or a lot of finance that you need to cope up with the life you used to live in. So uh, as young as we are now, think about retirement plan. So this, all of this, it falls under. So just look at another concept, which is debt management. So ordain your. So as a person, we can't avoid getting it because it happened asset, but then you have the enough money to purchase that asset. For example, maybe you want to have a date. So for persons, if you have understanding in this, it's supposed to be able to manage your data, that you allocate your incomes. Once you have your incomes, you need to make sure that you are able to pay back the loan that you have borrowed. So these are some of the areas on personal finance. And then we also have insurance as one of the areas in personal finance. So as I said, insurance, it also falls under protection. So in insurance, it is a method or a type of personal finance whereby you protect yourself. For example, let's say we have types of insurances. For example, we have a health insurance policy, auto insurance, homeowner, life insurance, disability insurance. So all these insurance policies, they are there just to protect if anything happens. So for example, on health, maybe if you fall sick, so you are safe because you protected yourself with this insurance policy. So on auto, maybe something might happen, an accident, and then the insurance company is able to come in and then maintain your car, as well as the homeowners. So something might, for example, fire or anything. So you are able to have protection on those sudden events with these insurance policies. I also talked about retirement planning. So on retirement planning, like I said, that as young as we are, we think that it's not necessary to make a plan for retirement. That how am I going to live? What's going to happen to me after I retire? So we think it's unnecessary or it's not important about it. But it is very important, and it is important to start planning about it as early as now. So there are different schemes that you can venture into, or different methods that you can follow in retirement plan. So we have a retirement account whereby it is a tax advanced account for retirement saving. So on these accounts, it's whereby you you save your money for after, so that you can use it after you have retired. So these schemes, it's whereby you don't pay any tax. They are exempted when it comes to tax. So this is one of the retirement plan that you consider before retiring, as young as you are now, that thinking of investing in such. And then we have pension plans. So on pension plans, these are employer provident retirement benefits. So it's whereby you monthly also pay to the pensions, so that you can have a certain amount after you retire, so that you can live the way you want. And then we have social security. So on social security, government provided retirement benefits. So this is another retirement plan that you can think of. And then we also have a retirement. So retirement goals whereby you can set targets for retirement based on the desired and expected expenses that you expect to have after you have retired. So take note, once you it's when you need a lot of funds, like that you spend a lot. So the older you get, the more finances you need to have. So it's like it's more it's more vice versa, because as young as we are, we might not need a lot of like maybe a lot of money, but then still when we retire we have a lot of problems, maybe sickness, or maybe you need to have maybe different checkup. So it's like when you are growing up, problems in your body is coming out. It's a time also you don't have sources, a lot of sources of it. So you just maybe depend on the retirement scheme that you invested in. So think of that, maybe that time didn't have any financial or any retirement plan we're investing in, and then you're all today you are sick, tomorrow. So it's the time that you for yourself, or maybe for you to continue the lifestyle that you had. So we need to think of this, because once we get old, you don't have the strength or the energy or the opportunities you might have now, because they would want to employ someone who is already old enough. So once we are young, as now, we have a lot of opportunities that we can do for us to make a lot of money for ourselves. So we need to invest in environment. Some we might think that if I keep, or if I plan to if I plan for my retirement, what I die as young as I am. So it's not a problem to for retirement, and if something happens that you die before your retirement, you have a family that can take over that money. So um, we need to be thinking about this retirement, and it's really important to know about these things. So look at the last aspect, or the last area in personal finance. So we have estate. So on estate planning is whereby it is a process of arranging for the management distributions as after death. So this is how you manage, or you distribute assets after he dies. So we by it is a document how be distributed. So we have aspect by it is trustees. So it is arrangement to manage assets for beneficiaries. Have power of attorney by it is designated by or someone to make a video or a make decision if the video is unable to. So it's like giving power to someone do options on behalf of an individual is not able to. Then we have a beneficiary designation, whereby naming of individuals to receive assets from accounts, like maybe insurance, policy of life insurance, or maybe a retirement plan. So this is about personal finance, just a basic and one personal. And then we have factors that is personal finance literacy. So we have of factors that affect personal finance. So the first one is demographic factors. So under demographic factors, we have the following factors. Age is one of the demographic factors. So older students more financial gains better than ones, because maybe enough experience in terms of life, and how we are supposed to manage the finances. So this is factors that affect finance, personal financial literacy. And then in terms of most of the studies, they say that between males, females, more males are literate when it comes to personal finance than females. So I believe that it's true because most of the time, especially here in Malawi, the culture that we have that women are not supposed to work, but of course nowadays it's improving. But basically, the past it was a case whereby females are. Hello, hello, hello. Are you able to hear me? Hello. Should I continue?
Hello, Miss. Bentar. Hello?
Hello, should I continue? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes, you can continue, Miss.
Yes, continue
Okay, so as I
until they tell
was
you. Yes.
Okay, so as I was saying that the culture that we have here in Malawi, most of our places, we say that females are not supposed to be educated enough. They have to wait for males to make money, and then they're supposed to bring money back home. So with that mentality, it affected uh, the personal finance literacy here in Malawi. So we have more male and females who understand more about the financial literacy. And then educational background. So students from different academic disciplines may have a different level of financial knowledge. So on this one, the students maybe who have maybe a lower level of education, they might not have an understanding on the personal finance or any financial um, understanding. So because of the level of education that we have. And then we also have socioeconomic status. So students who are more there, they are likely to have a better financial understanding due to more financial concepts than who are maybe from poor families. So these are some of the factors that affect personal financial literacy. And we have another factor which is educational factors. So under education factors, we have coursework. So on coursework, students who have taken finance related courses are likely to have higher financial literacy because basically on their modules, maybe they are talking about different financial instruments and different financial schemes that they can follow to for them in order to make more returns or to earn or to have difference of finances. So that's basically a factor in also based on personal finance. And then we have financial education programs. So participation in workshops or maybe business focused on financial management can improve literacy. So basically, if universities are hosting or maybe they are more into workshops that talk about literacy. This might help to improve the personal literacy for students. And then we have academic performance. Generally, academic success can correlate with the literacy. As more academically, students may also excel in the financial concept. So the students who are more, they are also of understanding financial that are there. So also be on that might influence the personal finance literacy. And then we have personal experience. So on personal experience, we have the following, whereby the first one is work experience. So on work experience, part-time job that may be intended can be practical financial skills, whereby the part-time jobbers, they know that I'm going working for this short time. By this time, I won't be able to have a job. So they know how finances out of that job, they should still have something to as for them to continue their life. So they know much better how to handle their finances or how to manage their finance. And then financial independence. So on financial independence, students who manage their own finances, for example, maybe those who pay their bills, maybe they handle their own budget, they tend to have higher financial literacy. So like I said, that most of the students depend on parents as a income. So if you're a student that you are always asking for money whenever you want something, I mean asking from your parents whenever you want something, those are the students that might know, or they might have less understanding on financial acts. So if you are a student, you have ventured in different entrepreneurship, or maybe you you have some businesses that you learn. So you are able to manage or to make budget or plans on how you manage your finances that you have. So that's a factor that can influence personal financial literacy. And then we have savings and investments. So students who have experience with savings accounts, or maybe investments, or maybe credit cards, often demonstrate better financial knowledge. So for students who are willing to uh, uh, to have uh, savings, or to invest in some things that they financial the financial instruments that are there. So students, they are the ones who are capable to understand or to have knowledge on personal finance. So we have also a parental influence. So on parental influence, we have parental education, whereby parents with higher ed might impact better knowledge to to their children. So if parents are well educated, they might be able to pass that knowledge to their children, like to teach them how to manage their funds, or Hello?
Yes, you can continue, Miss.
Sorry, my connection, I am having poor connection. I hope now you are able to hear me.
Yes.
Okay, so let's continue. So as I was saying, we're talking about the factors that can influence personal financial literacy. So we are talking about access to information. So we talked about the internet, and the media, social media influencers who are there on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, talking about how to get people rich, how to invest in this and that, or which are the stocks that are there, that are tradable, that are marketable on the market. So all this information, when the students are having access to books or websites on financial literacy, they will be able to have an understanding on personal finance. So now let's look at the background of the personal finance in Malawi. So back in the days in the 2000s, only small percentage of Malawians had access to bank accounts. So according to the World Bank's findings on database, in 2011, only about 16% of adults in Malawi had a bank account. So by 2017, it has increased, whereby the percentage is now at 34%, which shows that people are now able to understand the importance of these finance instruments that we have in here in Malawi. And then on mobile money penetration, the mobile money accounts back then in 2024 about 9, but then by 2017 this percentage has increased to 33%, so which is a good sign, because the more population that we have that is literate to financial or personal finance, it helps in the growth of economy or development of. On financial literacy, on financial literacy that are there here in Malawi. So the government or the NGO introduced to improve financial programs targeting youth and women have been all these programs uh, have been initiated so, so that we should improve the percentage of financial literate population that we have here in Malawi. And then we have the financial sector deepened in
Good morning,
Malawi.
Miss.
So this sector
Hello?
is whereby it has.
Yeah. Good morning. Please share your PPT again, Miss, and turn on your video camera. Thank you.
several campaigns and trainings programs to promote the financial literacy here in Malawi. And then the different financial is that saving at the financial 2011 to 18%. 24, we have a higher number of people savings in financial products. Hello, should I continue?
Yes, and please share your
Hello.
presentation. Yeah, please share your presentation also. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Are you able to see it now?
Yes, Miss, and turn on your video camera also.
Okay.
Thank you.
I hope you are able to see me and you can hear me now, and you are able to see the PowerPoint.
Yes, everything is perfect right now. Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, you can continue.
You should be moving towards winding up. Harriet, you should be moving towards winding up.
Should I continue?
Yes, you can continue, Miss.
Hello?
Yes, you can continue.
Out, you can continue.
Hello?
You can continue.
Should I continue?
Yes, you
Hello?
can continue. She says you can continue.
Hello?
Hello? Hello, Miss. Hello? No?
Bisa nih, tidak masalah ya.
Yeah, good morning, Dr. Rigauti.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, you can continue.
She says you can continue. You can continue with the
Okay,
presentation.
Okay. Okay, sorry for my poor network. So I was talking on future directions for improving personal finance in Malawi. So we have talked about the scaling up of financial literacy programs that should be initiated so that we can enhance the knowledge or education on financial literacy. And then we talked about enhancing digital literacy, whereby more digital financial services should be provided so that people they should be able to invest in such. And then we also talked about policy support, whereby it strengthens, this policy should be able to strengthen the frameworks to support the financial literacy, education, and financial inclusion initiatives. Now let's look at the improvements in financial literacy and access in Malawi. So, like I already explained, this is just on a pie chart whereby in 2017, how people were saving money in financial institutions, and then how it has improved by 2017, and then on mobile penetration, how it has improved in 2017, and then um, owning of bank accounts in 2011 and how it has improved by 2017. So by now, 2024, we have a large number of individuals in Malawi that have the access to different financial services. So let us look at the importance of financial literacy for students. So we have the following importances. So foundation for financial independence. So if the students are well educated when it comes to financial personal finance, they're going to be able to be independent when it comes to finances. So transition to adulthood, whereby university students, they're young and then they're translating into adults. So it is very important for them to to have more knowledge or to be educated when it comes to finances. So university students are at the age whereby they are transitioning from dependence on parents or guardians to financial independence. So understanding of financial or personal finance helps them to manage their money effectively as they take they take their own responsibilities. So they are responsible of their on themselves. So they're supposed to know and manage their finances or their funds, and then they are able to learn how to budget, or they're able to earn budgeting skills. So learning of budgeting skills helps the students to allocate their limited resources efficiently, and they are also able to control their spending and covering essential things like maybe tuitions or books and living expenses. So they are able to budget for all these things very well, because they have the basic understanding on financial aspects. And then avoiding of debts. So student loans, many students rely on loans to finance their education, and we also have programs that it was initiated by the government here in Malawi, whereby students are able to be provided educational loan. So understanding the personal finance can help them to manage their debt responsibilities and avoid excessive borrowing. So with the understanding of finances, the students are able to know how much they should borrow and how to manage the money that they have borrowed. Since I said that as we individuals, it might happen that we get a loan somewhere or the other. So with the understanding of finances, we might know and learn how to manage those loans that we got. And then we have credit management. So students often get their first exposure to credit cards and loans during university time. So the financial literacy helps them to use wisely and then avoid accumulating higher interest rates on these things. So it is really necessary and important for them to have a basic knowledge on finance. So on savings and investments, like I said, that we all need to have savings, and then we also need to invest in some of the stocks or any other financial instruments. So students, they can be able to save for emergency funds, building an emergency fund, which is an important aspect of a financial security. So on personal finance education, it encourages the students to save a portion of their income or allowance so that they should be able to fund themselves when an emergency event has occurred. And then for long-term goals, every person has a financial long-term goal. For example, maybe buying a car or maybe building a house or something else. So personal finance also helps to have the knowledge on savings and investments, allowing students to plan for their long-term goals that they have, maybe, for example, a house or retirement, or maybe furthering their education to another level. So all that it's essentials on why they should have an understanding on on personal finance. And then we have improved financial decisions. So students are able to make the informed decisions when it comes to savings, spendings, or maybe investing and borrowing. So they are also able to know or to avoid scams. So if students are aware on the financial concepts, so they are able to recognize and avoid the financial scams and fraud that they are there. Since because of this technology, a lot of thieves, they have also taken advantage of these things, so they are there out there scamming people. So if you are aware of the financial concepts, you are able to avoid these scams and fraud. And then we have reducing stress and improving well-being. So once you have a problem of finance, it might mentally affect you, or you might be financially stressed because maybe you have poor financial management. You don't really manage your funds very well. So once you don't have money, it might stress you or it might affect you as a student mentally. So it is really important for students to have this basic understanding of financial or personal finance, so that they should be able to reduce the stress as well as to improve their well-being. And then we have building good financial habits. So early education of personal finance for young ones, it is very essential, whereby it sets a foundation for good financial habits that last for a very long time or for their lifetime. So behavior changes as well. Understanding the importance of money management can lead to positive changes in behavior. For example, increase in savings or well spending of money. So it is very important to have an understanding on these financial aspects, and then preparing for future responsibilities. So students, they are able to prepare for their future responsibilities once they have the basic knowledge of personal finance. So maybe on career readiness, so a person who is able to understand the financial concepts is available or is able to have the skills when it comes to workplace or maybe employability and career development, as well as a life skills. So managing a person's finance, it is a critical life skill that affects many aspects of life. So from personal relationships to career choices, you are able to make the correct ones because you have this basic knowledge on financial aspects. And then it also contributes to economic growth. So, like I said, that a financially literate population is important for the economic development of a country. So students who understand personal finance can contribute to positively to the economy by making sound financial decisions as well as entrepreneurship. So students are able to venture into different businesses that they can be able to have different sources of incomes so that they should secure their financial state. So lastly, let's talk about the personal finance strategies. So what are the strategies that can help you to secure your financial life as a student? So you need to know your incomes. So if you are a student that you depend on your parents only, so you need to know how to manage that money that comes in every month, that allowance that you're getting from your parents. But if you're a student whereby you have your own businesses, your parents also give you some allowances, so you need to know how much you have a month and then budget from that and then control your funds, control your spendings based on that. And then we have also after you know your funds, you need spendings, your savings, your investments. So you can do it when you know how to budget on those things that you have, and then pay yourself first. So what do we mean by pay yourself first? So you need to look at the bills that you have. So first of all, when you have your income, first of all, look at the important things that you're supposed to pay for. For example, maybe it might be rent, or for a student, it might be tuition fee, books. So you need to focus on that before you think of luxury dates. So, like I said, that dates or getting a loan on how much we should get as a loan. So all that helps you to have an effective personal finance. So the last point is whereby only borrow what you can repay. So if you know that the incomes that you have and then the loan that you want to get, it's not viable, so you need to control your borrowings on that so that you can have an efficient as well as an effective personal finance. So lastly, I have here a personal financial statement whereby I wanted you to just have a look at how a person's financial statement can be. So as you can see that this person has the following assets. So he has a checking account, a savings account, a checking account, a taxable investment, non-taxable investment. So he has a total assets of 353,600. So the liabilities that he has liabilities up to the total of 260,500, and then his personal incomes, he has a paycheck A and paycheck B, whereby it has a total of 120, or is it 12,000, and then with his total expenses monthly, it is 9,350. So you can see that he has more income than the expenses. So as an individual, that's how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to spend more than what you earn. So in conclusion, the sooner you start financial planning, the better. But it's never too late to create a financial goal to give yourself and your family a financial security and freedom. So we might start as soon as now or as early as now, so that in future we might not suffer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your presentation, Miss. Yeah, and for our participant, if you have any question for the speaker, please add them to the chat or you can raise your hand. Okay, for our first question, we have question from Mr. Abdul. Hope you, yeah, my voice is quickly from your side, please. Hello, hello.
Hello?
Yeah, my voice is clear.
Yes, we
Yes,
can
I
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Okay. Yeah, the question from Mr. Abdul. Could you elaborate on the concept of talking as a pedagogical tool in our classroom setting? How does incorporating dialogue and discussion enhancement learning outcome, particularly in relation to the topic we've been covering? Yeah, the question already read in the Zoom chat also. Miss. Thank you. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you can write. You can answer the question already right in the Zoom chat also.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Could you elaborate on the concept of talking as a pedagogical tool in our classroom setting? How does incorporating dialogue and discussion enhance learning outcome, but particularly in relation to the topic we've been covering? The question from Mr. Abdul. Thank you.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, you can read in the Zoom chat, Miss, for the question.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay, so he's asking about the concept of talking as a pedagogical tool in our classroom setting. How does incorporating dialogue and discussions enhance learning outcomes, particularly in relating to the topics we have been covering? Was that the question?
Yes.
All right. So basically, once some things are being talked or discussed, automatically they enter into your head, like you understand them very well, one because they are being talked regularly. So for the topic that I just discussed with you when it comes to financial literacy, if we have different lectures coming in universities to talk about their personal finance experiences that they have, or maybe the schemes, or maybe we might have financial institutions that are coming in to introduce the financial services that they have out there to students, so that they should be able to know that they can also start as early as now in investing. It's not a matter of having a huge amount of investments to make an investment. So if students are being taught all those things regularly, they are having those seminars or they're having those talks regularly, it can help them to think about it and have to make a decision on how they should also venture into investment, so they can also secure their life when it comes to finances. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for answering. And then the second question from Miss Kinan also, please. Thank you.
All right, so um, to me, I think that talking as a tool whereby it helps or influences student engagement and understanding within our class. I can say that, like I answered on the first question, whereby something that is being talked regularly uh, to a person, it has an effect in his mind or her mind. So she or he can be able to think about whatever it's been talked about. For example, I'll give an example on the topic that we just discussed on personal finance. So once a person is being regularly talked about something like that, like every now and then there are guest lectures talking about the personal finances, or maybe the institutions that are coming in to talk about the how they should manage their finances, and everything. They are being engaged in different activities, or in different maybe activities that the school is organizing, engaging them to be exposed to different things, or maybe they can uh, they can as an university, they can come up with an activity whereby students, they should bring in different types of businesses that they have, just to make sure that they participate or they have a basic knowledge. Maybe they can increase as well the sources of income that they can have. So those activities, like I said, that an activity whereby a university can think of making maybe a fun fair where every student can come, can engage in that, and then they bring out all sorts of businesses that they have, so they can be able to gain an experience when it comes to entrepreneurship, or maybe how to manage a business, or maybe they can gain selling experiences, or maybe selling skills or advertising skills. So all those activities, there are some of the strategies or techniques that can uh, as well as help the students to interact, or maybe with the topics on of finances, or the different sources of funds that they can have. So to me, that's how a university can try to make sure that students are able to participate as well as to engage in these things. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for answering. I think it's very clear answer from Professor Lara. Before I close this event, for all participants, please open your camera. I will take a picture on the count of three. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one, 2, 3. Okay, smile. Thank you for your information. Finally, we come to the end of visiting lecture today. We would like to thank you for Miss Elestinah Magalasi from DMI John the Baptist University, Malawi. I hope this event will be benefit for our participants. At least we hope for collaboration in the future. The visiting lecture for today and here. We hope to see you soon. Thank you. And please stay. Thank you so much for Miss Elestinah. And please stay. Bye-bye for our participants. Thank you.